Are we recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
Okay.
All right, welcome to Poto Productions.
Hello, and welcome to another stunning episode of Basement's Faults and Catapults. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Trevor.
And we're your hosts, and we hope that you're all here to enjoy another dive into the gaming world.
Yeah, we've got a lot of ideas of things we want to try, but today, what are we doing?
What are we doing? I'm making you play MechWarrior Mercenaries. So, MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries.
Okay, so if we MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, wouldn't that be like MechWarrior 6 or 7?
No, because that's MechWarrior 5 Clans.
It's so confusing.
Yeah.
MechWarrior 5, it's even 5-year.
They kind of did the whole, like, I might be MechWarrior 6, I might be wrong. But I know with MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, that's just like the buy. Like, it's MechWarrior 5, and then they slap Mercenaries at the end of it.
Yeah.
But MechWarrior Clans, it's either 5 clans or it's 6. I don't know for sure, and someone's going to correct me, and it's going to be a thing. But I do know that as far as the engine and all of that goes, Clans it's 5. Like, they didn't do anything except slap in a new story mode campaign and beefed up the companion AI.
Cool. Right on. So MechWarrior, what was your first MechWarrior game?
My first MechWarrior game was MechWarrior 3, and I absolutely adored MechWarrior 3 because the whole storyline was you were part of a failed attack on a clan world, and it's literally you survived and your mobile repair facility survived, which consisted of 3 kind of trucks with these platforms that would go.
Okay.
And then throughout the mission, not only did you have to complete your objectives, but you had to defend your trucks. Because if they got destroyed, at the end of the mission, they can repair you.
Okay.
And the more they got damaged and the fewer they had, the less you'd be able to be repaired between missions.
Makes sense, yeah. It's like your mobile garage.
Yeah. And what I really loved about it was you could take enemy mechs.
Oh.
Right. So if you destroyed an enemy mech and were like, oh, I just blew out their leg, or I just blew out their head console, so the rest of the mech is still pretty good, your repair facility could rebuild it, and then you could pilot that mech instead.
You know, I seem to recall some things about that. So full disclosure, I haven't played a MechWarrior game since MechWarrior. I might have played 3.
2 was kind of like a lot of people's like this is the height of it.
2 was my introduction to MechWarrior.
Yep, that makes sense.
The appeal for me to MechWarrior, I was an anime kid. I kind of
MechWarrior.
I saw like Gundam.
Yeah, legally distinct Macross or Robotech is what MechWarrior is.
Yeah, exactly. There was Macross, there was Robotech. So like there was all these animes, and they kind of normalized the kind of the whole battle suit or the mobile suit, if you will.
Yeah.
No clear distinction, obviously. And
well. I guess, especially with like the difference between Western and Eastern mech, is Western, it's very much you are piloting a machine. It's this very big, clunky thing. And even the cockpit view, there's switches and joysticks and data terminals. Whereas with the Eastern, it's more like you and the machine are now harmonized.
Right.
Well,
I remember, I think it was MechWarrior that might have been Thrustmaster or might have even been Microsoft sold like the MechWarrior controller
like that
set
full control set
where you had like full flight controls basicher for your mech.
Yeah, you had the throttle, you had the joystick, you had like the missile.
Yeah,
like it was intense.
Yeah.
Another game that came out in fairly recent memory, I think it's called Ring of Steel, and it might have been for the Xbox.
Okay, yeah.
But it shipped with a full like mech control suite.
That's
right?
wild.
Might have been Ring of Steel.
I just remember so back when MechWarrior 1, I graphics in the MechWarrior 1 days were pretty crap.
I mean, there were boxes.
MechWarrior 2 got your first like 3D treatment, semi 3D treatment.
I think MechWarrior 2 was it Glide or Graphic FX?
It might have been. I don't know if it was pre-Glide. I played MechWarrior 2 on an Acer, would have been an Acer Aspire 133 megahertz CPU.
Okay.
With probably I had to say, maybe like a gig of RAM. Probably less than that. Probably
256.
Probably like 128 megs of RAM, honestly. And I remember distinctly that the game didn't run very great on my system.
It would have been pretty stuttery, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with all the lasers and the explosions.
Yeah, but I loved the game, but it was really, really hard. I got into the whole idea of, there's old games like, you remember Worms?
I do remember Worms.
Worms, where you have like little guys and they blow each other up. And you take turns blowing stuff up. And they had like a few tank games like that too. There was an old game called Scorched Earth.
I remember Scorched Earth. Yeah.
Which was basically pre-Worms. Worms was based on Scorched Earth. And Scorched Earth was just these stupid little tanks, little pixel tanks that were just like, and you just rotate the thing, you choose what you're shooting, and you could eventually get like big bombs. And it was like, pew, boop.
I started on something called Guerrilla War or something, and you're basically, it was on QBasic. For those of you who know, but it was on QBasic, and like it would randomly create these buildings. Yeah. And you had your two gorillas, and you would take turns, and you actually had to manually enter like angle, velocity.
Wow. That's so cool. And so like, yeah, so those games kind of evolved into a lot of those like tankier games where you've got like big clumsy artillery that you're trying to like blow stuff up. And I remember MechWarrior 2, I feel like there's a time difference between that and another game that I played a lot of it around that era, which was Star Siege and Star Siege Tribes.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't that or am I thinking Tribes, which was a sort of FPS capture the flag game?
Star Siege Tribes.
Yeah, in sort of the same vein as Unreal, but way faster.
Crazy with like the disc gun. And so like when I got into MechWarrior 2, I found like the execution of the game to be not great. I didn't really, I tried to get into it, but I didn't play it a lot. It really turned me off of the MechWarrior series. I think the problem is we were just getting into the 3D worlds. Games were just kind of moving. Like, at the same time, I would have been playing Ultima 9, probably. In that time frame.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And Ultima 9 had like...
So like that sort of dungeon, you had the buttons, you're like, look, wall.
Well, actually, no, so Ultima 9 was the first 3D Ultima game. Oh. I could be wrong on that, but it was the first one I played. And it was kind of like, to me, Oblivion was the natural successor of Ultima 9.
Oh, that's right, because you didn't really play Morrowind.
I did not play Morrowind. I will do a revisit, and I'll come back to that at some point.
We'll replay it, and full disclosure, I will force him to install the HD mod packs.
Oh yeah, please. I don't like going back and playing really old games because the graphics are so bad.
Trevor generally doesn't play with mods.
Generally, no.
And B, and fair's fair, right? Like we've moved and we're able to do better graphics. Why wouldn't we?
I'm a vanilla purist on every game except for Minecraft.
Oh man,
Minecraft, I'm like feed the beast, ultimate mod, load it up. I want my applied energistics, and I want my forestry, and I want my bees, man.
Yeah, let's go with the bees.
Yeah,
they have bees in regular Minecraft now.
They might.
No, they do. They straight up have just bees.
Microsoft's just like stealing everything from all of the mods.
They kind of are.
Yeah, no, they totally are. Microsoft stealing other people's ideas?
No!
Never! Where do they get the ideas from Windows from? Oh, Mac OS? Great. Anyway.
There's not like a movie about that where Ashton Kutcher is...
Yeah, they didn't steal each other's ideas at all.
He didn't do the worst job as Steve Jobs.
Hey, didn't do the worst job. Yeah, some people have to do the hard jobs, But MechWarrior is a game that I've always wanted to love.
I say MechWarrior 3 is my first one. I've lied to you and to the people at home and before God. My first experience was a Sega Genesis game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And there was like a MechWarrior Sega Genesis game. And I maybe would get past the first level.
Yes. Any of those games for Sega were so hard. I remember like Sewer Shark for the Sega CD, and you're like, is this even a game? Does this game even have an end? Is there a way to win this game?
Yeah.
I would just endlessly play it for like hour upon hour upon hour and just keep dying and dying and dying. And I feel at some point I needed to like sit down with an Excel spreadsheet. I didn't have Excel at the time. This was like Sega CD days. And just kind of go like, okay, what were all the commands I felt? Left, right, like dead. Okay, left, right, left. Okay, dead. Okay, left, right, straight. Okay, alive. Great. And like map out the entire sewer. I think that's the only way to beat Sewer Shark.
Well, I mean, that's how they did it.
Yeah. Sitting there with a piece of paper, like sketching out on a grid paper where I'm going. No thanks. But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to love MechWarrior. I loved the idea of like big hulking robots and blasting each other. And I'm trying to recall. I'm trying to recall if MechWarrior 2 had multiplayer. I have played MechWarrior multiplayer. It might have been 3 that had the multiplayer.
I can't speak to that. I know MechWarrior Online, which was a Xbox Live era kind of game. Yeah. And I think it's actually still available on PC. Yeah. But it had a very and to my knowledge, still does. It's a very vibrant, very, very active community that are still like, we're out here.
I want to say back in the day, MechWarrior was using like something like GameSpy to do matchmaking.
Good old GameSpy guy.
Yeah, GameSpy was the matchmaking software for the longest time. I think GameSpy was used by everyone until Blizzard came along with Battle.net.
Yeah, and you would buy a game in a box, which was like this much cardboard for this much game. And you would look right in the bottom left. There'd be like the little target reticle in green and like a little spy figure.
Yep. Yeah, it's man, that brings me back. Right? But I remember my first foray into MechWarrior multiplayer. Kind of, and this is when I was younger. When you're younger, you're arguably better at like clicking, spamming games.
Well, your twitch reflexes are still good.
Yeah.
Right?
But I sucked. Like I would get into a matchmaking thing in MechWarrior, and I don't remember how it was scaled out. Well, we can look at that off camera and come back and talk about it later. But I remember every time I'd get into a match, I was just outgunned, and like everybody had better gear, better equipment. I was just totally outgunned, and I just really sucked.
They're hardcore min maxers, and they'll do some tricky things like. Your first impulse is just to load up on the biggest guns and just like go walking in.
Or you load up on the lasers and it's like, do overheat. And you're like, what do you mean overheat?
What do you mean overheat?
Can I not buy bigger heat sinks or like some better cooling for this thing? Jeez.
Yeah. But yeah.
Didn't they have jump packs too?
They do.
Where you can like
jump jets. Yeah.
You know? Oh, man.
They'll have class 1 through 5, I believe. And class 1s are for your assault mechs or for like your 80 to 95 ton mechs.
Nice.
And then class 5s are for your little scout mechs.
The little ones with the skinny legs that run super fast.
Yeah, your 20 to 35 pounder or tonners.
I remember like, and again, I'm just like, this is all old recall from 25 years ago, but it was like
Spider Supremacy, if you know, you know.
I don't know, but I'm going to find out. But I remember like you'd have to like increase your throttle on your mechs like juke. And then if you want to slow down, it's the same thing. It's like
yeah, well, I mean, you're bipedal, right? Like it's not a stop on the dime, and you're 35 tons. I think the lightest mech is 30 tons, and you're still like you're not stopping 30 tons on a.
No, you're a freight train on 2 legs.
Yeah,
Like imagine if freight trains used legs instead of wheels. And it's just like a bunch of caterpillar legs running. That thing to stop, that thing would really slowly have to kind of back.
Yeah, you gotta lean into that.
But I imagine if you got jump jets, you must have like retro thrust jets where you can slow down.
Like more advanced pilots.
Like if I was building a mech, it would have like forward boosting jets to go faster forward. But then now I start getting into like Gundam where I'm like just like rail slide, man, just. I don't know if you ever played Zone of the Enders.
I did. PS2.
Yeah. Zone of the Enders was actually one of my favorite kind of mech robo tech type games. One of the few ones that I actually enjoyed, but it was more of like you've got a sword, you're floating around, you get to fly around.
It was very mecha.
Lots of free movement, very mech. Yeah,
very mecha.
Yeah.
Whereas and I'll use mecha to describe sort of that Asian tradition, and I'll use mech. With a K to describe the Western tradition.
Yeah, mechica.
And mech it's very mechanical. Yeah. It's very like your rotation is limited. You can't totally twist your torso, or you'll in some of the MechWarrior games, you can over torsion your torso. Maybe not in the MechWarrior series, but like in that tradition,
it's very much like Hammer Industries versus Iron Man.
Yeah, like you can over twist.
Yeah, like oh my god, my spine.
Yeah, I mean you're not in the suit
you're
like
sitting in
that,
a seat,
but you're in the cockpit.
Yeah.
But like you'll twist yourself. You'll over twist or over torso.
Yeah.
You can get ammo cook-off in MechWarrior games. So, like, you store your ammo in this part of the mech.
Yeah.
And if that armor gets damaged and they get a shot in, and you have, like, missiles
there goes your ammo.
Concussive weapons, not only does that go, but it's an explosion right here in your torso.
Nice.
You've lost that side of your body, right?
Yikes. Well, yeah, and I have actually, like, thought of...
Unless you have case ammo. That's a different story.
Different ammo. Reload. We had the idea is that like mechs, like MechWarrior, as opposed to something like Zone of the Enders or Gundam, is very like mech is Hammer Industries, and then you've got like the really cool Stark Tech, which is like your Macross and
again like yes, but Hammer Industries has this sort of idea of like, oh, it sucks.
Yeah.
When in the reality is mecha is more like that sort of bioorganic fantasy. Right? It's like
Evangelion. We're gonna put you in a tube and you're gonna actually like psychically connect. You
and this machine are now one. And it can be as blatant as Evangelion, where it is a biological construct with mechanical plating. Or it can be a little more subtler, like Darling in the Franxx, which is an excellent mecha anime.
Yeah, I've started watching it actually. I started watching it this last year.
Darling in the Franxx is an excellent mecha anime. And then it can be as sort of fantastical as Macross Saga or Robotech or any of those, right? But the machine still functions and moves like an organic being.
The first time I like fell in love with the whole like mech Gundam, that world of mechanical fighting was like I'd seen things in the past like Astro Boy, obviously Robot Fighter.
Astro Boy,
right? My Astro Boy.
CBC 7:30 a.m. Saturday morning.
Yeah, exactly. Flying high in the sky, right?
Yeah.
Memories. But when I think it was 1999, and I watched Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, the movie, and the animation, the giant wings on the.
I feel like it was
Wing Zero.
I feel like it was Gundam Wing, but Gundam Wing kind of introduced the first idea of like the virtual idol. Because they had like that one female character who sang and all that, and then it kind of became a big thing throughout Japan, to my memory.
Honestly, there's so much Gundam between Gundam Wing, Gundam, Gundam Seed Destiny, Gundam Seed Destiny. There's like 14,000 different Gundams at this point.
Yeah, the first Gundam, and I think the first Gundam also introduced this one character who was just like a unrepentant sex pest.
Oh my god!
Just like this. Just annoying.
Who's the guy with the mask? Zex?
Maybe.
What's his name? Yeah. He's like the one bad guy that is the same bad guy in every single Gundam, and it's the same character, or at least the same art and the same design. It's like, clearly this is the villain.
Yeah, he's still here.
Why is he in every single multiverse? That's a question for another time.
That's different. That's a different.
I actually feel bad because I brought my little StarCraft guy down here because he's kind of like a robot suit. He's tanky.
Yeah. And like you can even kind of see this is where the idea of the mechanical comes in, because like he's probably torso-wise just in here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then like his arms might come up to here.
Yeah, I think in the StarCraft universe, I think like his legs come down to here.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of in the suit in a way.
Yeah.
But I feel bad because I should have brought my EVA Unit 01.
Oh yeah.
So we'll switch to EVA Unit 01. We'll switch it up.
EVA when we do our comeback.
Yeah.
When we talk about the game.
So we're gonna go play MechWarrior 5
Mercenaries. I might make you play the campaign just because it's an on-rails experience and there's a tutorial that you're forced to play. And I know if I don't make you play the tutorial, skip it.
If I don't play the campaign, the game's going to be a campaign in the butt.
No, you'll just be like, hey, why can't I do this? I'm like, because the tutorial would have explained.
Because you have to press Q to open the menu, and then R, and then rotate, and then press mouse up, mouse down, and then number 3 in order to activate your missile.
Explained to you.
Yeah.
If you had played the game. No, it's not quite that nitty gritty.
Have you ever skipped the tutorial in Stellaris?
On my 3rd or 4th playthrough.
When it goes, you will regret that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. There's a reason for that. You will.
That.
I skipped the tutorial my first game of Stellaris.
You fool.
I did regret it.
Yeah,
for months.
You're sitting there going, I've played Civ.
I've played 4X strategy games before. Galactic Civilizations 3.
Yeah.
But
anyway, we're going to play the game.
Yes.
Trevor again, MechWarrior 2 might be his last MechWarrior.
It was, yeah.
I've been playing MechWarrior 5. I think I have maybe 40 plus hours right now. It's a recent obsession of mine that I've rediscovered.
Nice.
I actually really loved the top-down strategy by Harebrained Studios, which is in the Battle Tech. Off the top, Battle Tech is usually the strategy. MechWarrior is usually the first-person shooter. Or where you're the mech pilot. So I've played a lot more BattleTech than I have MechWarrior, and we're going to go play that, and we're going to come back, and Trevor's going to tell you how he did, and I'm going to tell him how I felt he did. And it's going to be a very healing moment for both of us.
Yeah. So very quick, who made MechWarrior?
Piranha Byte Games.
Yeah, Piranha Byte.
I believe.
I believe you're right. And you said it was released 2019.
2019 for the PC, 2021 for consoles.
Very cool. Very cool. As usual, I'll have some text on the bottom, just kind of
to correct
I'll throw out the correct information.
MechWarrior 5 unfortunately got hit in that. Do you remember where Epic Mega Games was like, "Oh, we're going to buy your game. You have to exclusively distribute it on our platform for the first bit." So MechWarrior 5 was unfortunately part of that wave.
That's why it didn't end up on Steam till 2021.
Steam and consoles until 21. So it kind of got hit there, and I believe that hurt it a little bit.
Yeah, Epic's not so epic.
Not only is Epic not so epic, like, I appreciate what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Like, I do believe Monopoly is bad.
We do need competition.
I do believe monopolies are bad.
Yeah.
Full stop. But I firmly believe that Tim Sweeney is just mad that he's not the monopoly. Yeah. I don't think he cares about general consumer rights. I think he's just mad he's not the monopoly.
That's how most, businesses are run nowadays. I have to be number 1.
Yeah.
No, it's okay to be number 2 or number 3. Just be good at what you do.
Yeah, man.
You don't have to be number 1 all the time. You don't need to be the richest.
I'm gonna complain a little bit off screen, but yeah. So we're gonna go play a game, and then we're gonna come back.
MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. We'll catch you on the flip side. Flippy
flap.
Welcome back.
We're back.
We're back. Back, B. Come here. Yeah. Speaking of Sega. So we just played some MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. Yeah, just to get us kicked off, I was, of course, we got OBS going. We're recording the session up on YouTube to play the play session.
Yep.
And I got to say, I always kind of check the play session to make sure it's not jittery and it's smooth and we're getting the frame rates we want. And I looked up
after the aliens incident.
Yes. So sad. We lost the entire play footage because of OBS, the bitrate settings. But anyway, there's always things I learn, and there's more for me to learn every day. But I noticed that every time I looked up to check to make sure OBS was still recording and everything's working, I don't think I've seen myself happier playing a game on a stream or a recording.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, I have this deep love for MechWarrior, even though I'm terrible at it, and I find the games like MechWarrior 2 and probably 3 very frustrating to play. But getting back into it, I really enjoyed it. I still think the graphics are a little bit jank. Not
gonna fight that fight.
The mechs they had that film grain applied.
Yeah, they get fuzzy in the distance.
Yeah, we have enough graphical power on our systems to be able to not do that. And it kind of gives it a bit of a movie-esque or a cutscene-esque look to it, which is kind of cool. But I'm I always think of these really shiny robots with high powered textures.
The mechas.
Yeah, and so the MechWarrior kind of purposefully kind of like de-resolutions
De-resed.
their mechs. They're a little de-resed.
No, they're chunky.
Yeah,
Those
which
chunky boys.
makes the game arguably look a little more. It gives it a little grit, which is kind of cool.
It does, yeah.
But it's just in the back of my mind. I'm like, why are they doing that? Why is the mech blurry? It's not that far ahead of me.
That's a fair complaint, absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, luckily I had you there. We skipped all the cutscenes, just kind of for the purposes of playing the game, enjoying the game. The voice acting, yeah, you mentioned it was a little weird that the one voice actor was kind of like sometimes British, sometimes Scottish, sometimes like in between.
Yeah.
Makes kind of sense. I was looking at a map the other day. We were talking about travel around the world, and I was like, oh yeah, so like the UK and then Scotland and then Ireland, and I'm like, oh okay, yeah, so like they're like the same location, right? They're on the same island, right? They're not the same people. I would never say that. I see you shaking your head and be like, don't say they're the same people. Don't say they're the same people.
They're going to kill us.
I mean, like I'm, my family heritage is actually goes back to the McNellys, the Irish McNellys, but no Scottish, I don't think so. But yeah, there was like things that they were saying, where it would come out very British, and then things that were coming out very Scottish.
Yes.
And it seemed like they couldn't quite decide which way they were going with it.
That's a direction issue. That's the
Totally.
That's whoever was in the other side of the voice booth going, can you do it again this way? And she'd be like,
all right,
okay.
Your father's Scottish, your mother's British. You were raised separately by each of them for different years on your life.
And then you went to school in Ireland.
Now do an accent. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, hey.
It worked.
It's cool. It works.
It worked. It was consistent enough. And in the MechWarrior verse, if you will, there's one section of space that's kind of like a homogenized UK-ish. So, like, maybe that's that accent, but at the end of the day, it's jarring to the modern ear.
Yeah, it is, because when you're used to hearing a Scottish accent. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know how to. I've never had any voice coaching, but you know, certain words are pronounced a certain way.
I did a Scottish accent for one of the plays I was in, and there were two Scottish people in the audience.
But it's like the word way, like way, or versus way.
You're
right?
overdoing, like it's not we, it's way. When you're doing a Scottish accent, the urge to get into that, like, go like Archibald, it's not right. Like, everything about the Scottish accent's just a little bit more of a burr than a groot.
Yeah, and we can blame Groundskeeper Willie for that one.
You can blame Groundskeeper Willie. You can blame Mel Gibson.
Oh yeah, you cannot take our freedom.
But like the accent. It's very easy to... And the worst part about learning an accent is you have to be okay with parody for the first little bit.
Yeah.
You have to be
It starts at parody, because Hollywood does mostly parody. Like, even the best directed Hollywood movies have like, oh, that's a parody Russian accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, the game was good.
Back to the game.
Back to the game. Honestly, voice acting is a big part of the audio, right?
Yeah, but, and honestly... Like I said, they were consistent with it.
Yeah.
Right. So while it is jarring to the modern ear, it was well done.
Yeah. So MechWarrior, you get in, you do your tutorial, fine, you blow some stuff up, and I, like a crazy person, I'm like, does that blow up? Does that blow up? Can I blow that up? Can I blow that up?
Yes. Once you're allowed to do that.
You can blow up a lot of things. There's a lot of like destructible things in the environment, which is always kind of a bonus for me in games where you pew and blow things up.
What you didn't get to do, because you're only on ice worlds, is eventually you land on forester worlds.
Yeah.
And you can cut down entire forests with your lasers.
Just like, I like that.
It's really fun.
I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to that. Destructible environments are really good. There's a game called Red something Gorilla.
Oh god. Okay, so you're talking Red Faction Gorilla.
Yeah, Red Faction Gorilla.
The original Red Faction introduced that.
Yeah.
You could like essentially mine around things. It was so fun.
Yeah, I like blowing up buildings, and that game was like very good. Blow up a support, building collapses.
Yeah.
So I like that destructible environment thing. Obviously, with MechWarrior, the biggest gripe I've always had with MechWarrior is like how the movement system works. Because your mechs are like, okay, I'm walking this direction, and I'm walking.
Again, very different from the mecha, which is just sort of an organic system, right?
The mecha like moves like we move, right? Like it's not weird. Imagine like figure skating, and you take like an EVA 01 could do figure skating.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
Has the movement of joints and the flow. Put a mech on ice for skating, it's not gonna go. Like the mech literally has no.
It's stompy. It goes.
There's nothing elegant about it.
No.
Right?
Absolutely not.
And so it's like stomp, 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 rotate, stomp, 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 rotate. And like, there's a couple times there where you're like, okay, zoom out. Your torso's completely twisted around and you're going backwards. And I'm like, oh my God.
How did I do that?
How do I fix it? Oh, hold A, hold. And the mech moves very slowly. So your directions adjust slowly. Your laser weapons, they're on your torso, and if your torso is pointing that way, your lasers are going that way. So there's like all of these little nuances to piloting a mech. And it is very much piloting a mech. Like we were talking about like the Thrustmaster where you got like the throttle and the joystick, and they built the whole thing that you could buy for that. So I was very reminiscent of that, but the nostalgia of how much I really loved MechWarrior, for me, really shone through. That's why I think I was so excited to play.
You were having a blast.
I was having so much fun, and I really enjoy that whole battle system. Now, arguably, I took an explosion to the face. We're like, hey, everything's going well, and I'm having a really good mission, everybody, and then boom! And I'm just like, there goes all my armor. My right arm is damaged. One more shot, and I'm probably losing parts.
Hey, you were down. You were in the reds.
I find there's a lot of good people. Like, you're probably pretty good at the game. There's probably a lot of other people that are good at the game. But I find the controls clumsy. They're clumsy on purpose. I get that.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm already clumsy. So
you don't need the help.
Add clumsy controls. And I'm just like, I'm trying to shoot stuff. And I'm like, I think it's like, I walk into this facility.
One of my favorite moments, your laser is like, there's the guy.
Yeah, I'm like,
oh, no.
It's like, protect the facility. Quick, point at that guy. And then all of a sudden I like move my mouse funny, or like I did some control funny. My laser's like, I like mow down half the facility. I'm like,
oh.
You've got insurance, right? Like, oh my God. So yeah, I don't know, man. I really enjoyed the whole thing of like picking your weapon loadouts. We didn't really get into that.
No.
But I'm excited for that.
And with the mechs themselves, you can start modifying them. So like you can swap out weapons. Be like, listen, I have 35 tons on this thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to dedicate 15 tons to armor.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take every gun out, and I'm just going to put in this extended range large laser.
Now, can I eventually swap out body parts?
No.
That's too bad.
But you will get new chassis.
Because I was kind of like I want to take the little guy.
Yeah, the javelin.
And be like, I want to put on a big beefy arm, you know?
No.
No. That's too bad. And because I remember like in the old MechWarrior, you could salvage arms, you could salvage legs, and you could kind of mix and match a little bit, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yes. So we're getting into the esoterics. The inner sphere, which is where you are, they're the older models. So everything's built on this chassis.
Gotcha.
However, the clans, which are the outer sphere, they're kind of the hyper-militaristic bad guys of the Battletech universe. They introduced something called the Omni-Mech.
Okay.
And the Omni-Mechs are what you just pick and choose.
Interchangeable parts. They're basically like Subaru, where like everything that works in the Forester and the Outback also works in the STI.
You can start
just exchangeable parts.
So
same brake calipers.
Yeah, it makes it really interesting because an Omni-Mech can be outfitted for the mission.
Okay.
Whereas the mech, you have to pick the right mech for the mission.
Oh, gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
So, for example, the most iconic, if you will, of the MechWarrior universe is what's referred to as the Mad Cat. I think it's actually the Timberwolf is the clan designation. But it's kind of like the poster child for the Battletech universe, and it is a Omni-Mech. And you can swap out the missiles for laser racks.
Okay.
You can swap out the laser racks for missile racks. You can swap out the arm weapons for flamers, whatever.
I like that.
It's plug and play. Whereas a mech, so there is the Atlas. The Atlas is like the assault mech of the world. It comes with these laser hardpoints. It comes with these ballistic hardpoints.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, and I love when you get into robotics and mechs and things like that in games like that. I like to have interchangeable parts. I like to be able to interchange certain things. So the weapon loadouts is something I'm really excited for.
Yeah, you can definitely fiddle with the weapon loadout. You can choose to either underload it. So be like, hey, I can only fit 90 tons, but I really am worried about armor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap to a lighter weapon, and I'm going to overtop the armor. Or
nice.
I don't have to worry about armor if I can pick them off from Milmaz.
I've got a sniper rifle. I'm good. Yeah. Yeah. So like ultimately, obviously I enjoyed playing. I think that it was an easy thing for me to have not done MechWarrior for a long time to get back into it. Having you there always is helpful.
I don't know how much help I was. Twist the torso.
I mean, it's helpful. It's like having a co-pilot. Every mech needs a co-pilot.
Every mech needs a co-pilot.
So I mean, let's get into it.
Get me in the rumble seat.
Graphics.
Graphics
are okay.
Yeah.
I found some of the way that it did its like anti-aliasing and antroscopic filtering to be a little weird.
Interesting to me about the graphics is we're playing on your 3060 or 3090.
Yeah.
And at home I play on my 2060.
Yeah.
And I did not notice anything between the two.
Yeah, and we're playing at 4K as well. I did notice it was a little choppy because initially we didn't have VSync on. So initially it's running at kind of an unlimited frames, and as I mentioned, you can't do recording and encoding if your game is trying to suck up all the GPU doing frames. Yeah. So generally when we record, we got to drop the game to a minimum of 60, maximum of 60 frames.
Yeah, lock it at 60.
If we're going to record 60, we should be playing at 60, and that's one of those things I should probably cap out in the NVIDIA settings, in the control panel. But the problem is, like, most games have like a fixed FPS slider. This game did not. And for a 2019, but for a 2021 Steam release game, not having an FPS cap slider is kind of a little weird, but it's fine. But we got it desync turned on, everything smoothed out. It was good to play. I think the video turned out quite well, so check it out. Hey,
you can listen to me go, twist the torso.
Yeah. I like the destructible environments, but I will complain that if you're going to do a destructible environment, I want it to be all the way destructible. So like if I blow up the building and now there's support pillars and I want to blow up the support pillars so that the whole building will collapse. They kind of went halfway with that, which is, it's still cool. Like to be able to go like, oh, I'm going to launch a missile barrage at this building and watch it collapse. And you're like, that's so cool. It had a lot of cool elements to it. I found their view distance choices and their blurring of the mechs to be, in my opinion, kind of annoying. I like I say, it added some grit to the game. I think it made some good artistic choices, but it's going to lose some points for me there because I feel like
that's reasonable.
We have good graphics, very capable graphic systems. We don't need to do that. It almost felt like the game was being played on medium settings, even though we had it on maximum settings.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
And so, but graphics aside, I would say 7 out of 10, good enough. Reasonably good graphics.
I'm gonna bump that to a 7.5, just because you didn't really get to do the big mech battles yet. When you have like 17 mechs on the field just going at each other, it's pretty intense. But.
Yeah, I found too that the first two missions that we played, the targets that we're going after, like little tanks and stuff, there was not enough contrast or lighting specifically to their textures to make them stand out in any meaningful way. They just kind of look like dark blobs floating around floating around the bases.
That's fair. I would argue that was a choice because we're camouflaging, right?
Yeah,
but you know, I get what you're coming at.
We're making a game about mechs and blowing stuff up. I want it to be like stand out, shiny. Wow, look at that amazing tank. Look at those cool details. Look at the cool texture. And being able to see different factions have different textures. I like the fact that, highlight it in red, press R, target it. It highlights in red and you know where the enemy is. But even like the choppers are coming in and they're just kind of like dark. Yeah. There's not a lot of texture. There's not a lot of like
turrets, tanks, and choppers are all going to be very similar. Yeah. Same. Again, they saved their energy for the mechs.
Yeah. Well, and I found that to be a little bland. Like it just kind of I wasn't excited. I was like, oh, look at that chopper looking silhouette, as opposed to being like, wow, look at that amazing chopper with the cool textures and the cool lighting, and maybe there's a spotlight on it and there's lighting and shadows on the ground. Like, again, I'm just kind of going with what they could have done versus what they did do, and I'm sure with consoles and other things, they kind of had some choices to make. Yeah. Right? But ultimately, 7.5 for me means it's good.
No, you did 7.
7.5 is good. 7 is good. For me, 7 right on the dot is kind of like, it's good for what I would expect out of the game.
Yep. Absolutely, I agree.
Could have been better. Wasn't bad. I mean, and I've said this in the past, 5 is passable. 50% is a passing grade. 51%. 5.01. But I know specifics, right? So 5 is passable. Like, I wouldn't fail it. 7 is like, no, it's reasonable. I enjoyed it, right?
Yeah.
Audio, the music, listened to it a little bit of it before we did started the recording. So the music sounds pretty freaking awesome. Like, it's all kind of like upbeat. It's fast paced.
It's very military, like it's like
yeah, but it's fun,
right? Yeah,
it's fun. So I like the music. Bonus points for the music. I think that really increases the thrill of the game. The audio, I would have liked to have heard, like, the explosions were okay. We have, since like the Unreal days, we've had like 1997, 98, we've had spatial audio. This game doesn't really take advantage of spatial audio the way even some old games back from like the Unreal 1.0 days. Sounds were cool. Like, lasers were okay, artillery was okay, but it was okay. I wish they'd have done more with with spatial audio.
Huh, sure.
And I just feel like they didn't get very creative with what they could have done with some of the sound. It was good though. 7 out of 10. I'm one of those guys that went out and bought a 5.1 surround sound for my computer system back in the day. Now I'm happy with like 2.1 or even had like good headphones. But even the headphones now have spatial audio support.
Oh, they do.
And so many games don't take advantage of that. And I feel like you had mentioned MechWarrior 5 would be really cool in VR. In order for it to be really cool in VR, you need spatial audio. Like, you need to have spatial directional audio. And the game I found just didn't have enough attention to detail to the spatial audio. But it was good. I want bigger explosions. I want like the explosion was like blow up something, it's like boom. And it didn't really like, right? No shock waves. No, it just kind of like blew up and there's some fire. I'm like, I want like impactful. I want to blow stuff up, man. This is a game I want to blow stuff up. And again, the mech battles are probably amazing. So I'm really looking forward to delving deeper into it and getting into like the bigger mech battles, deploying multiple support mechs with other pilots.
Yeah. You can have up to a lance, so 4.
I would love that. Like, that would be so cool, directing and however that works. So I'm excited to keep playing, which is amazing.
I will say the AI is pretty limited. Its
aim's not great, although it did whack me pretty good.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the enemy AI is pretty good.
Yeah.
The companion AI is limited in that sense. There's like you can issue 4 commands. Form on me, go to this spot, turn off your weapons.
Okay, yeah.
And then so 3, and then you can issue those commands to your entire lance or to an individual lance mate. So you can be like, hey, you go here, you go there, you go there.
Okay, cool.
Or everybody come to me, so on and so forth.
Cover me.
But it is a little lacking, and they don't behave very intelligently. Like there's
about as well as I do with like I'm turning the wrong way and twisting and walking in the wrong direction.
To that extent.
Okay, so they're better AI than I am as a player. That's not bad.
There's issues I have. There's some missions you haven't gotten to yet where you're being attacked by artillery.
Okay.
And it indicates there's the red dot. Okay, this is where the artillery's going to land, and then like more will saturate the area. I'm like, okay. And if you're going, I think 64 kilometers an hour, you can just go straight.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter. You'll be out of the range in no time.
Yeah.
But your lance mates will follow behind you regardless.
So it misses you, but it blows them
so
up.
It'll get them, and it's like
that can get expensive fast repairing all those mechs. Yeah. No, I honestly, the gameplay, I really enjoyed it. The tutorial was actually pretty good for what it was. A little slow paced.
And you're just mad you couldn't shoot the guy in the face.
I was really mad I could. And then you said that was my dad, and then I was like, hey, now I want to shoot him in the face even more.
It's a good dad. He's a good dad.
Is he though? Because he enlisted you into the military and he's forcing you to work in the mechs.
It's your private mercenary firm. He just wants you in the family business.
I mean, you know what? Maybe I wanted to be a chef or a baker, and maybe being in the family business was not what I wanted to do, Aaron. Maybe it wasn't what I wanted to do, Aaron.
You didn't want to get in the big stomper?
Well, I do like mechs.
Come on!
Yeah, it's like fire truck.
This is not a get in the robot Shinji moment. This is a you get to be in the robot.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would be pretty. Shinji was. He should have been more excited to pilot the Eva. You know.
Listen, we can talk for way too long.
Check our Patreon for an episode where we're gonna end up probably doing talking about how bad Evangelion is.
It's not
even bad. You hear what I said there? Evangelion. Bad pronunciation, yeah. Ugh. So anyway, honestly, the gameplay was great. I'd say I really enjoyed the nostalgic return to MechWarrior. It felt far less clunky than MechWarrior of old. It was a little more smooth, but still that mech awkward, which it should be. And
no, you were in third person for a lot of it.
I prefer third person,
and I'm so glad they added third person because I play in third person too. But there is a cockpit first person view, which I couldn't even imagine playing.
I need to know which way my lower legs are facing, and if I'm in the cockpit, I'm going to be so not passing missions. So I mean, some people probably prefer the cockpit. If it was VR, cockpit would be really cool. Maybe if in the cockpit there's just a little thing that shows the direction of your legs.
There is.
Is there?
Yeah, on your little radar map.
But then I gotta look down. It's gotta be like a heads up display. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not a cockpit player. I'm a third person player, but I give the gameplay 8.5 out of 10 for a MechWarrior game.
Yeah,
solid.
It's fun.
I would say if you've never done MechWarrior, this MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries would be a great way to get into it and try it out if you've ever wanted to. It was pretty accessible.
Yeah, and a big complaint gameplay-wise is a lot of people are like, the missions get super repetitive and very stale.
I can see that.
However, with all the DLC and all of the options, there's enough variance.
MechWarrior has always been repetitive, though. Anytime I've played MechWarrior, it's been, okay,
big clunky robot,
deploy, blow up some stuff, and get extracted. And just rinse, repeat for 40, 50, 60 missions, beat the game.
Yep. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the gameplay loop for anything.
They could get a little more creative with it, and I think that's one of my only scrutinies is MechWarrior is its own game. Other games are not like MechWarrior. The controls are very unique. But the best thing about MechWarrior still being MechWarrior is also the worst thing about MechWarrior still being MechWarrior. There's more you could do with it. Get me MechWarrior Tactics, where it's strategic.
That's called BattleTech.
Right. Get me something like BattleTech, but in MechWarrior. Get me just get me some different gameplay, bigger squadrons. Get me some mechs that hey, guys, we've actually advanced the mechs a little bit, and their movement, as you get through the game, their movement becomes more, I don't want to go as far as saying more Mirror's Edge, but yeah, more free-flowing movement, more, I don't have to worry about which way my legs are facing in order to go that direction. I can just face that direction and go. I get that kind of becomes not MechWarrior anymore.
Yeah, now we're playing a different game. And there's one, I think it's MechWarrior 3, or it might even be in this one, but you can lock torso.
Okay.
So your torso becomes locked, and moving any part of your body moves all of it.
Yeah.
But be aware that now you're moving at that speed, not...
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to do that either.
Whereas torso rotation is very quick, but your moving your legs or something. Because again, you're moving a 35 to 100 ton machine.
Well, I kind of likened it to a first-person shooter where I kind of went directly into the tutorial, went into the first mission. I'm like, first-person shooter, shoot, overheating. You got to be more strategic with the game, which is part of the charm of MechWarrior. But also, when you're intentionally wanting to do strafing, you need to point your legs that way and point your torso this way, and you're walking in that direction, you're shooting in this direction. It is, I would say, less arcade, more very technical, and that's always been the case with MechWarrior. That is kind of what I think the people who love the MechWarrior genre really enjoy and really love. And I gotta say, it's good. So gameplay, 8.5 out of 10. And fun, 9 out of 10.
You were having a blast.
Honestly, watch the gameplay video. I had more fun. I was surprised at how happy I looked. And that's a weird thing for me.
And I would love to get you into the cockpit of a heavy mech.
Yeah.
Like one of the Atlases and up. And see how you felt doing that, because they are slow, but my God, they are just...
You know what? I'll take fast and nimble as fun, but huge and massive amounts of firepower.
So there's that, and then I'd also like to get you in like a fire starter, which is a similar platform to the javelin, but you just motor and you unleash these flames that overheat a mech, and then you stun lock them essentially.
I like that, just cow tipping. Stun lock them and then just go boop.
Well, stun lock them, get behind them, blow out their armor.
Yeah.
Because armor is usually lighter on the back. And just blow out their legs, right?
I like that.
It's hilarious.
Legs fall off, mech fall over. Yeah. And I think when we were doing the training mission and I'm blowing up like the standing mechs and I took out its legs, I was definitely not impressed with how the mech fell or how it crumbled.
Yeah.
I feel like there needs to be, and again, I kind of made a Michael Bay joke. I was like, Michael Bay, boom, you know? But I do want to see, like, when I blow the leg off of a mech, I want to see it like, you know, Star Wars, 1980s, AT-AT, it falls over, it collapses, it explodes. Like, there's so much more you can do when it's like, I blew the limb off of a mech. It should fall over, stumble, maybe hop a couple steps and then fall over. Like, they're just...
MechWarrior 6. They'll up the engine and the graphics, and they'll be able to handle that.
Yeah, MechWarrior 6. You need to like get creative, make it more fun, more explosive. Don't hire Michael Bay, but like take some cues,
take some notes.
You know,
the man knows how to blow stuff up.
Think the first Transformer movie before it got like everything exploded, right? So yeah, ultimately,
you know, my favorite on-screen explosion will always be Independence Day.
Oh, yeah.
When they blew up the White House.
Yes, that is so relevant right now.
Whoops. What is this, Eric?
No, honestly, Independence Day is still one of my favorite films of all time.
You know what they didn't have? Mechs.
They didn't have mechs. But they did. But they did have a Jeff Goldblum.
They did.
Yes.
He's so.
Yeah, I kind of love his creep. I kind of hate his creep, but you got to admit he's kind of got his own style.
He does. He does have his own style, and it's just like, I'm sure he's a very lovely human being, but like I just imagine him as always moist.
You know, it's funny. I think of like, imagine taking MechWarrior and you've got Jeff Goldblum like voicing one of the generals. You just couldn't take it seriously. No, he's more of that.
We're all gonna die, or we're gonna do well. It's a toss up.
There's a TV series where he plays Zeus.
Yes, it's on Netflix.
Yes, I don't remember the name of it. Something gods, something or other. But anyway,
it was really good.
Jeff Goldblum Zeus. I love him in that role. He's perfect in that role where it's the right amount of like power, creepy. He actually scares me as a character in that because he plays it so well. But definitely wouldn't be a good voice actor. But anyway, I digress. We have. I don't know why we even brought up Jeff Goldblum.
How did we get to...
I don't know. This is ADHD at its finest. But anyway.
We were talking about gameplay and how much fun you were having.
I love the gameplay. Yeah.
Then we got lost.
I love the gameplay. I love... I just love the game. I want to play it more. I do want to see more effort put into the graphics. Into the... Not just the graphics, but the mechanics of the graphics. Like the explosions. And I know they have RTX. They're like, turn RTX on. I feel ray tracing is going to be wasted on this game.
Well, I mean, all ray tracing does is it adds the frame between the frames, right? Yeah. It's not going to add the explosions. It's not going to add the...
Well, ray tracing, when you actually have like the reflections, real world reflections and things like that, you need to have high res textures. You need to have like Cyberpunk. When you turn on ray tracing, you see perfect reflections because every part, like it's basically simulating particles of light bouncing off of something and giving you that really realistic reflection.
Yeah.
I just don't see anything in MechWarrior.
Oh, sorry,
5
I got my
good.
ray tracing mixed up with my DLS.
You were thinking about DLSS or frame gen.
Yeah, that's on me. My bad.
All good. We did have DLSS on quality. I might try playing it when we're not recording on DLSS off just to see if it makes a difference. But no, honestly, man, MechWarrior, I would recommend it. Catapult this one.
I've already got. I own it.
I mean, you were
playing my copy.
You recommended it. So we're going to catapult it. It's definitely a game that if you're not into the mech genre, probably not going to like it.
No. And again, if earlier we were talking about the difference between sort of mech and mecha, if you're expecting like these fluid, super combat things.
Go play Zone of the Enders.
Yeah, play Zone of the Enders.
Yeah.
Play. Honestly,
the Gundam games are really
the
hard.
Gundam games
don't play
are
those.
great.
Don't play those. Those are really hard.
Yeah, they're hard, but like they perfectly emphasize that motion, right?
Yeah.
But if you want to get behind the console of a big clunker, and just
honestly, the game's well executed, and it should be, because every iteration of MechWarrior should be getting more and more refined. Because really, it's the game style isn't changing.
Nope.
So yeah, I give it probably, I don't know, we're gonna average it around probably an 8 out of 10. Somewhere around there. It's a good game.
It's an 8. It's an 8 out of 10 for me too. Yeah. I love it. I think I've buried maybe 40 plus hours in there so far.
Get 40 hours out of a game, you've gotten your money's out of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, $1 an hour. So if you paid $70 for the game, you should get it for 70 hours.
Well, and I'm still blowing through the campaign, and there's a career mode.
Yeah, co-op.
There's co-op.
I think you and I are going to have to get on for some
co-op. We might have
co-op.
to do some co-op.
Yeah.
Career mode is, instead of following this campaign, you're now just running your merc company. So you don't have these campaign storylines. You're just going around doing
deploy mission. And that's where it's probably going to get repetitive.
That's where it does get repetitive, but the DLCs add a lot of story missions that are still in the career mode. So that's fun enough. Like they did the 4 Succession Wars, they the Kestrel Lancers, they did the Rasselhog Independence Movement, like these big moments in the BattleTech universe, they hit.
Nice.
It's quite fun. I think it goes all the way up to the Inner Sphere Invasions.
Cool. So yeah, I mean that's all I got about MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries.
Play it.
I recommend it if you like mechs, or if you've ever thought about getting into a mech game. It's worth a try. Watch it for being on sale on Steam, because you said it was about a little over $70 with DLCs.
Yeah, with all the DLC.
Yeah.
It was a little over
so
$70.
watch for sales. We love Steam sales.
I love Steam sales.
Probably going to see
we trust.
The spring sale's probably about 6 weeks away.
Yeah, and it'll probably be on sale then. I know it was on sale when I bought it, and I think it was just on sale to be on sale, because the latest DLC was 2 months old at that point.
I wonder, there's probably a lot of games that make a lot of residual sales years later off of just Steam sales.
Oh, yeah, no, Steam sales are great for back catalog.
Yeah, because there's so many games where it's like, yeah, the game's $70, you could pay full price, but like they're not making that many sales. It's an old game, it's 5 or 6 years old. Steam sale comes on, boom, they sell another 100,000 copies.
Yeah,
that's great.
Again, the MechWarrior 5 was 2021 on the Steam platform, and here we are 5 years later, right?
Well, Aaron, I'm kind of mad.
I didn't do it.
I'm kind of mad because you've now reinvigorated my love for MechWarrior.
Hey.
And my wish list is going to have like 8 more additions to it now.
No, clean your room.
I can't. We're going to do an entire episode on how bad my wish list is and what's on it.
God, I think I have like 14 games right now. I got to clean it up. I got to either remove them or buy them.
We'll do that as an extra episode. We'll just go through my wish list, and we'll start cutting games off the list. We'll cut the roster.
Oh God, we'll call it cleaning Trevor's room.
Clean your room.
Clean your room, Trevor.
Well, with that being said, good luck.
Have fun.
Don't die.
Bye. See you next time, guys.
See you next time.
And check out our gameplay video where Trevor actually does play the MechWarrior games and watch along.
Yeah, check out me actually enjoying a game.
He had so much fun.
I enjoy so many games, but this was good. Good enjoyment. All right.
Bye.
We're out. Until we meet again. Oh my. Mech.